Last year, I got inspired to learn coding after finding a bunch of videos that explain all the concepts in a clear and interesting way. I started with Socratica on YouTube, that taught Python while acting like an android with the humor of Lieutenant Commander Data from Star Trek. I like this channel a lot because of the effort that went into making entertainment out of education. This is a concept we will revisit later in this video. From Socratica, I learned how to do all the basic things like making variables, data types, and I could navigate through the terminal. I also tried out learning from the long-form videos they had on freecodecamp.org, 4 hours videos that will introduce total beginners to Python programming. It was over here that I built up some major momentum learning things like simple functions, classes, and even list comprehension. And on it went. I learned more and more about Python, learning about libraries and modules, instant variables, Jupyter notebooks from Google and Amazon, making data frames with pandas, and I even started doing daily problem solving to try to enhance my problem solving capabilities. So I kept learning until eventually one day I felt comfortable enough to certify my knowledge in Python. So I went to the testing center, answered the questions, and got this paper. It has a short list of things that I memorized for the test. And so now I'm ready to make my first program, right? I wanted to play around with some of my ideas, but that's really hard to do in traditional programming. So I put that away for the time being and instead took a look at some of the learning resources I bumped into for JavaScript when I was studying Python. Blockly is a visual programming language created by Google and built with JavaScript so that users can drag, drop, and snap together code. The above example is meant to teach users about object-oriented programming where you give attributes to something that you're looking at. Over here, we have an example of scripting. You get the guy on Google Maps to the endpoint using a series of code. What I like about this is that Google uses puzzle games to teach computer science concepts. But as with all puzzles, you solve them once and then you move on. Fortunately for us though, Google made Blockly available to everybody to use in developing. And then we have products like Scratch developed by MIT. Scratch is a block programming platform developed by MIT with the purpose of making programming and computer science accessible to more people. It was developed by their initiative called Lifelong Kindergarten, whose purpose is to help people find creative ways to learn through play. On the left, you can see block programming, which is written in plain English, while on the right, you see Python programming, which requires a lot of memorization before you get into playing with it. If the code could work, the pieces will snap together. If it doesn't, then they won't. And there are a lot of add-ons that make it even more interesting to try out different things with programming. And right from the homepage, you can see a lot of what's possible with Scratch by looking at their featured projects. Over here we have a recently featured mini-games project using the same blocks we were just looking at moments ago. And another user created this here game of Snake using the same blocks that we were looking at just moments ago. I want to remind you. What I like about Scratch is that it shows you so much is possible with such simple tools, and it shows you right away that there's a community that's already behind it. Just imagine that for the first time in computer programming history, writing Hello World is not the first goal for a young programmer. With Scratch, you go straight into playing with code, and you go straight into the community. This is a community that's built around sharing knowledge. Every project that you share, everybody else gets to see, and everybody else gets to play with, and everybody else gets to look into the code. And because all the blocks are so easy to read, we can focus on the concepts. And when we focus on sharing concepts, we focus on sharing ideas. And then we can look at how I came up with my ideas. So we are here to help spread those ideas to other people and help them plant seeds of creativity in other learners' minds. Beyond the model of Google using puzzles to teach concepts, and I think this is probably the endpoint of what you're going to see with visual programming. It connects more people using ideas, and it makes it easier to share those ideas and play with them. And this is exactly the purpose of the progress bar, to create and share ideas and develop a community that is centered around sharing and growing. What you can expect to see from us are a bunch of projects that we do together, some reviews of other projects that we look at together. We're always in the process of growth, and we're looking for other people that want to grow along with us. So come join us at scratch.mit.edu. Thanks for watching.